Cyril Ramaphosa announced a 500 billion rand support package for South Africa to deal with the economic effects
a special
of the
6-month
COVID-19
coronavirus grant, among other measures announced by President Cyril Ramaphosa last night. Government says the 500 billion rand support package is aimed at mitigating the negative social and economic.
A massive social and economic support package of 500 billion rand.
Yeah. Yes, my boy. No one else. No one else. Yeah. No one else. No one else. Yeah. No one else. No other person. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing else.
According to the president, the budget was supposed to be as follows. 1. 200 billion rands was for loan guarantee scheme for businesses. 50 billion rands was for direct poverty relief and social grant. 130 billion was reprioritized from the existing budget. 100 billion rands was for job protection and creation. 20 billion rands was for healthcare preparedness.
An amount of 20 billion will be directed towards addressing our efforts to this pandemic.
There's been a lot of corruption and maladministration of the fund. Only 18 billion rands of the 200 billion rand loan scheme was used. Unemployment kept rising. Billions of rands were stolen in the PPE corruption scheme.
In the lead, one of South Africa's first significant national health insurance contracts was allegedly awarded to close associates of Dr. Zweli Mkhize, the health minister, who is currently on special leave. Digital Vibes allegedly added massive markups on invoices for questionable communication.
In March 2020, South Africa's Department of Health awarded a 141 million rand contract to Digital Vibes, a small media company, for COVID-19 public messaging. The company had no track record in health communications and was registered to a personal friend of Makai. The contract was later expanded to include NHI messaging, pushing the total to 150 million rand. A special investigating unit, SIU, probe revealed no competitive bidding. The contract was irregularly awarded to Digital Vibe. Fake invoices, money was paid for services never rendered. Money laundering, funds were diverted to Makai's associate. 6-7 million rands for Makai's son, Dedani Makai's, used to buy a Mercedes-Benz and a Land Cruiser. 300,000 rands for a Louis Vuitton bag for Dedani. 1-6 million rands for renovations at Makai's private home. 4-7 million rands to Makai's former personal assistant, Teyera Meda, who had links to Digital Vibe. All of this was bought with the taxpayers' money.
With regard to the issue of Digital Vibes, Digital Vibes has happened. A number of actions have flowed out of that. The minister has resigned. And if you did find fault with me saying to Minister Mkhize, we thank him for his work, I'd like you to be a bit considerate, because much as he's implicated in the report, he has served the nation well. He has served the nation well.
As COVID-19 cases surged, South Africa's government allocated billions for personal protective equipment. Corrupt officials and connected businesses exploited the emergency procurement rules, inflating prices to absurd levels. Investigations revealed that while a standard surgical mask should cost 5 to 20 rands, some suppliers charged the government up to 5,000 rands per mask, a 1,000% mark. One Gauteng-based company, Ledler Structural Development, was awarded a 125 million rands PPE contract. Their pricing list included 5,000 rands per surgical mask that should cost 10 rand, 600 rands for a plastic apron that is normally 30 rand, 180 rands for a single glove that is usually 2 rand. When journalists exposed this, public outrage forced the government to cancel the contract.
The Special Investigating Unit argued that Lidla Structural Development, alleged to have been a proxy to Royal Bata, which is owned by the husband of presidential spokesperson Kusela Diko, was unlawfully and irregularly awarded the PPE tender.
SIU investigations recovered 1.4 billion rands in stolen COVID funds by 2022. Some officials were fired, but few high-profile convictions occurred. The scandal became a symbol of COVID corruption, showing how greed triumphed over public health. In mid-2020, as South Africa battled COVID-19, a little-known actor turned businessman, Hamilton Ndlovu, suddenly flaunted 11 million rands in luxury cars on social media, just weeks after scoring a 172 million in PPE contract. His rapid wealth explosion exposed one of the most blatant COVID corruption cases in South Africa. Before 2020, Ndlovu was a D-list actor with minor TV role. When COVID hit, he registered multiple companies, including Flexi Club SA and Hendremec Proprietary Ltd. His companies won a 172 million in government PPE tenders, mostly for masks and gloves. In June 2020, Ndlovu posted a now-deleted video showing 5 luxury cars delivered to his home in one day, a Lamborghini Urus worth about 5 million rand, Porsche Cayenne worth about 1.8 million rand, Porsche Panamera GTS worth about 1.8 million rand, Porsche 911 Carrera worth about 1.7 million rand, Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT worth about 900,000 rand. Total value, 11.4 million rands in cars alone.
So this is the 911-992 Carrera 2020. Leya during the week. Yeah. Lena. Porsche Panamera GTS 2020.
Yes, my boy.
No one else.
No one else.
Tourism.
Yeah, no one else. No one else. Yeah. Yeah. No one else. No other person. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing else. Thank you, Baba Ndlovu.
The public immediately suspected corruption. How did an unknown actor afford this? Investigations revealed his companies had no prior experience in medical supply. The Special Investigating Unit, SIU, froze his assets in August 2020. SIU recovered 158 million rands from Ndlovu's companies in 2021. His luxury cars, properties, and cash were seized. However, no criminal charges were filed against him personally as of 2025. Ndlovu disappeared from social media after the scandal. His cars were auctioned off last year August for a collective amount of 8.5 million rands. Ndlovu currently has a court case unrelated to this one. When we entered the strict COVID-19 lockdown in March 2020, millions of vulnerable citizens were left without income, facing hunger and desperation. In response, President Cyril Ramaphosa announced a 350 rand Social Relief of Distress (SRD) grant, along with temporary increases to existing social grants, as part of a 50 billion rand social welfare expansion. On paper, this was a lifeline for the unemployed and informal worker. In reality, systemic failures, bureaucratic incompetence, and rampant corruption turned what should have been a safety net into a national trauma. The rollout of the SRD grant was plagued by logistical and technical failure. Over 10 million applications flooded the South African Social Security Agency, SASSA, overwhelming an already inefficient system. The online application portal that was meant to streamline the process was riddled with glitches that were rejecting applicants for minor discrepancies in ID details or bank verification. Many who qualified were denied for absurd reasons, such as being flagged as employed in outdated databases. Even worse, those without proper documentation were excluded entirely, as Home Affairs offices were closed during lockdown, leaving undocumented citizens and migrants without recourse. For those who depended on the grant, Delays were not just an inconvenience, they were a matter of survival. Families skipped meals, children went to bed hungry, and many resorted to foraging or relying on overstretched community soup kitchen. In townships and rural areas, frustration turned to violent protests and looting as desperate crowds raided food trucks and supermarkets. The psychological toll was immense. Many applicants described the humiliating process of reapplying multiple times, only to be met with silence or automated rejection. While millions struggled, politicians and well-connected business people siphoned off COVID relief funds meant for public welfare. The 5,000 Rand mask scandal, the 150 million rands digital vibes corruption case, and Hamilton Ndlovu's 172 million rands PPE fraud became symbols of a government that failed its people. While nurses reused garbage bags as PPE and families starved, the politically connected flaunted luxury cars and designer goods, paid for with money that should have saved lives.
There have been protests and looting in South Africa, which is enduring one of the world's strictest lockdowns. The restrictions have halted all economic activity apart from essential services. But for many people, not working means not eating. To the country's poorest, hunger is a bigger threat than the virus.
So if there's no food, we have to go look for food. It's hunger, it's not about corona now, because you need to survive.
As people waiting for aid take matters into their own hands, dozens of shops and supermarkets have been broken into over the last week. In Diepsloot, we found a community group with 800 bags of vegetables to distribute, and the operation ran smoothly in their compound. Outside, however, it was more like chaos. The queue stretched for a kilometre, and there was no social distancing in sight. Eventually, the organisers shut the front gate. There's hundreds of people here standing outside, but there's no food left in here. And one of the workers has just told me that they cannot open this gate or they will experience a stampede, something he says none of us would want to witness. It's quite volatile. But the residents weren't giving up, and some were clearly desperate.
No, I just need water because I've been long in this line and I just need water to drink. Please help me because